Hello, how are you? Who am I talking with? um, yeah, I don't have a script, so I'm just going to talk, and whatever comes out is going to be the topic of the night. Um, I think I got hung with this idea of expressing yourself in a way that is eloquent and gosh, I can't remember the other word. How do you call when someone is very precise and on point to talk? There is a specific word that it does not come to mind right now, but it will eventually. Um, and that is something that I articulated. Oh my gosh, I could not remember that word. So, yeah, I got hung up on what I discussed yesterday, that it was this idea of expressing yourself in a way that is articulated and eloquent. And to me, this is one of the things that I struggle the most because even though, like obviously English is my second language and there are biases about accent, Hispanic accents most over. But I do think there is also a big portion of me as a human beyond the language having a very hard time at the time of expressing or communicating an idea. And I know this because I mentioned something about how my husband sometimes gets frustrated and he goes like, I don't live in your head, so I don't know what you mean. But after I mentioned that, it came to mind that oftentimes when I spoke with my mother, she would be on the same situation, like, okay, and what are you trying to say? And even sometimes with friends, I just tend to kind of like circle the matter rather than just like going directly to the matter. And there are a couple of, hypotheses I have on why that's the case. Um, Although I will say that there is also that kind of big you know um, weight, that heavy weight of just how you are or your personality. So anyways, I am excited about these videos that no one watches because it's a way of me trying to express an idea and trying to be articulated when I express it and trying to be eloquent and convincing and giving a good impression and um, an overall convey a point, like make a point across beyond my brain. And to me, that is a very important part of my career because I like the ultimate dream was always to be a director. Originally, it was a film director. I think at 47 that I have, that dream is a little bit too far. So it's more about like being a director, whether it's a creative director or an art director or a content director or anything that requires directing for a specific outcome. So that being said, if that's the ultimate dream, how can I not be able of really expressing concisely in a very articulate way what is it that it has to be done, what's the vision, how do we get to that vision, how do we, walk the path to get there. um, so certainly something that it has to be finessed. And that's the trip right now, right? Like that's the reason why I'm here talking to this camera, um, fantasizing that there's someone on the other side that is listening to what I'm saying. Eventually, I also think that as I warm up this process, I will bring in more of a topic to talk about rather than just like whatever comes to mind. I think right now is very freestyle. I don't, as I said, like I'm not pretending a lot of things. The only things that I'm pretending is the building of a habit. Um, and obviously, there's a couple of different habits that I'm building with this. One of them is the habit of expressing in an articulated way. Another one is the habit of being consistent with what you say that you're going to do. The other one is the habit of freestyling and just taking things out of your brain, and dumping them somewhere, whether it's a piece of paper, whether it's an open camera, whatever that is. So just kind of like consistently working on building these habits, so I can get somewhere that I feel proud of in my life. Because when I look back at my 47 mark that I have now, career wise, not in a personal stance, but career, creative creatively, there is nothing that I am absolutely proud of. um, I know I have moved forward, and I know I have, maybe I'm like being too harsh on myself because there are some amazing things that were accomplished. Um, and perhaps, like perhaps people would take that a thing and just make a big deal out of it. And to me, it's like, yeah, but not really. Um, but I just think that what has happened, and one of the reasons why I do not feel so proud of anything is not because of the end results, because there have been some accomplishments, right, on like specific that end result. The results have, like if you see only at the results are great. But the thing that bothers me is that there has not been any type of mastering of any kind. So, what does that mean in my books? That means that I haven't been able to really master, right? A craft, a skill, um, a method, a, a process. I haven't. It has always, something has always happened in the middle that I have been like, now this way, and now this way, and now this way, and now this way. And it's, it's it is what it is. It's a little bit disappointing. That's the word. It's not frustrating, it's disappointing. And now I want to, I kind of like humble up after 2020. It has been one after the other one, specifically after 2022, November 2022. It has been one thing after the other one. And now at 47, I have humbled up, and, kind of like I'm starting from scratch. And I think mostly the whole vision. There's no vision, basically. The whole vision for the future, and like your mood board, and like your wish board, or whatever, however your vision board, is just building a little habit. That's all I want to do, is just Stay consistent throughout 1 year, either writing in the morning or doing these silly videos that I'm doing. I don't care. It's like super simple. Not if I can do it for a year, every day or every 3, 4 times a week, oh gosh, I would have, I will be touching heaven with my hands. We shall see how it goes. Um, little by little, little, tiny steps. That's what I'm doing right now. Bye. We'll talk soon.